are now joined by number 13 ranked UFC bantamweight Cody Stamann, and we'll take our first set of questions from Jay Anderson with Stateside Press.
Hey, Cody, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
This is obviously not necessarily the fight you were originally prepared for. I mean, you had Merab, and you've got Andre. I mean, it's become commonplace during the pandemic, but how much of an obstacle is the change in opponent?
You know, I don't really look at it as much of an obstacle. Honestly, preparing for Merab, I felt like I had trained hard enough to fight anyone. You know what I mean? Merab's a nasty dude, and you've got to be in really good shape to fight that guy. So, I mean, at this point, I literally told my manager, I'm like, it doesn't matter who it is, just send me the contract, and we'll get it done. Like, I'll fight anybody that will say yes. I don't care what weight it's at. We're gonna do it. And luckily for me, it's at 145 pounds, so I don't really have to cut very much weight.
And I was going to touch on that. I mean, it's, you know, for obvious reasons that featherweight's in play again here. But, I mean, you've had a few fights at 145 now. So are you thinking of maybe just running and playing this out, or is the plan to go back to the bantamweight later in the year?
Yeah, I definitely got to go back to bantamweight. I was really disciplined this time around. Like I said, rigorous training camp and preparation for Merab. My weight got really low, lowest it's been. So I was looking really good for 135. And I didn't think it was going to be much of a struggle to make 35. And now, honestly, I'm eating and drinking. It's Thursday. I don't really have to cut any weight, maybe like 2-3 pounds tonight. I'll do a quick workout and make 145 pounds. So, I mean, I'm pretty small. I would really like to get this kid out of there in a big hurry and fight again soon, you know, because I put a lot of time like before this fight. I mean, I was supposed to fight in December, you know what I mean? So we're talking about 2 months before that, and now 2 months after. So it's like 4 months. And I feel like I have at least a couple fights in me, and I could definitely make 35 here in a few weeks.
I know you said the change in opponents didn't change too much because, you know, you trained hard enough for Merab, you could fight anyone. Does it kind of change your approach in training, though, knowing that anyone can fall out at any time? Do you train to focus inward more and, you know, kind of focus just on your own game?
Yeah, I mean, if you talk to any of the OGs in the sport, they all talk about how, you know, in the beginning of their career, they focused so much on who they were fighting and what they were going to do and trying to anticipating, you know, what reactions to have for what moves. You know, you're fighting a wrestler, you're going to wrestle a lot. You're fighting a striker, if you're a wrestler, you're going to look to take them down, you know, in opportune moments. But I've kind of adopted that same thing. The only thing I changed necessarily with my opponent is I try to get people that have the same body types, and, you know, I'll pay guys to spar a certain way. So like when it was Merab, I had a bunch of, you know, short guys that could wrestle, and I'm like, take me down. I'll give you $50 every time you take me down a round, like some incentive to like, hey, kick my ass. And then when it was Andre Ewell, same thing. You know, I found taller guys that could fight southpaw, and I just want the live look, really. I mean, and then all my training, it's all the same. You know what I mean? I just want to get the live look. That way, I'm not going in the cage and something's happening where, you know, I'm fighting a guy that's got an 80-inch reach, and I just haven't seen that before, and it's like surprising, and I got to take 5 minutes to figure it out because you don't have that time in the cage.
Gotcha. And last one for me, just talk about the matchup a little. Obviously, Askar might not be the most well-known guy to some UFC fans, but he's definitely a gamer stepping up to fight you.
Yeah, I mean, 11-1. I feel like the kid's got some skills. I mean, I've watched a few of his fights. Yeah, he's tough. And I like that. Yeah, he kind of has a similar style to me. You know, I think he's more of like a boxer, kickboxer, wrestler. He wins most of the fights by taking guys down. I think he's a really good matchup for me to put on, you know, a highlight type performance. You know, it's unfortunate for him that, you know, this is his UFC debut, but hey, you know, after I kick his ass on Saturday, at least he's in the show.
All right. Well, looking forward to do it this Saturday. Thanks very much.
Yep.
We'll take our next set of questions from Cody Cruz with For the Win MMA. Oh, no, we'll actually go to Gabriel Gonzalez with Stateside Press.
Hey, Cody, can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear.
Just checking. I only got one quick one. Jay really handled a lot of them, but not to look far ahead. Is the fight with Marab still the matchup you're looking for after this one? Or do you feel like after all the rescheduling, you're ready to move on to a new opponent?
You know, I'm gonna go get a win Saturday night, and I think Marab needs to do the same. You know, and the Marab fight was just a fight. It was more of a test of will, if you would, for me. You know, I think Marab is kind of the most tenacious guy in the division, and I really wanted to fight a guy like that moving forward, just because I think it would be, you know, great cage experience. But if I'm looking at Marab really hasn't beat anyone. You know, worth naming. I think there'd be a lot more name value, and there'd be a lot more clout, so to speak, if Marab went and beat somebody in the top 15. You know, I think he'd be a lot better. It'd make more sense for me, you know, because I've beat, you know, 5 guys in the top 15, top 10. So, you know, if we're looking at just that, there are a lot bigger fish to fry than Marab.
The bantamweight picture, you know, with a new champion in Peter Yan and a lot of moving parts, it's an exciting time. For yourself, how would you script your perfect 2021 to get to that point where you are in title contention?
You know, I think I'm only a couple fights away, really. It's one big win against somebody that is on a little bit of a tear. You know, I've had a habit of knocking these guys off their trains. You know, Alejandro Perez, you know, 5-0, Ultimate Fighter winner. I go out and beat him on short notice. Brian Kelleher, 3 finishes, you know, in a row, like in 6 months, and you know, I go beat him. Song Yadong, I mean, all these guys. You know, so it takes one more of those guys in the top 10 for me to beat. You know, I go out, have the performance I know I can have on Saturday, and then I look for one of those big names. And, you know, honestly, there's so many big fights at bantamweight. You know, you can't really be in a hurry to the title because there's so many guys deserving of the shot. You don't know how the Frankie Edgar, Corey Sandhagen fight is going to pan out. You know, easily one of those guys gets a win. He's the next guy for the shot. You know, so the title is always kind of within and without reach, right? So I really think it's, for me, I'm just focused on my career and building my name so that, you know, when the time comes and, you know, some of these OGs start to kind of retire and fall off, and it opens the division up a little bit more for the younger guys like myself and some of the other guys that have popped in over the last few years. You know, I want to be a front runner in that equation. So I want the big fights. I want to fight the legends. I want to fight the Jose Aldos. I want to fight the Frankie Edgars. I want to have those big names on my resume when the time comes.
Hey, thank you, Cody. Good luck.
Thanks.
That's all we have for you today, Cody. Thank you.
Sweet. Thank you.